All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. We're looking at what is, without a doubt, going down as one of the absolute most dramatic, heart-stopping matches of the entire 2026 FIFA World Cup. We are up in Seattle for this massive round of 32 clash. On one side, you've got the heavily favored European powerhouse Belgium, and on the other, this incredibly surging, dynamic Senegal squad. Both of these teams came into the match riding a huge wave of momentum from their final group stage wins. But what actually unfolded out there on the pitch? Well, it was something literally nobody could have predicted.
To really get the weight of this, you got to put yourself in Belgium's shoes for a second and understand the absolute mountain they had to climb. Picture this, it's the knockout stage. You're down 2-0. Your world-class orchestrators are suddenly sitting on the bench. You are staring right down the barrel of a humiliating early exit. What follows here isn't just your standard comeback. It's a historic display of resilience that ended with the absolute latest game-winning goal in the entire history of the World Cup.
Okay, before the first whistle even blew, we were watching this fascinating tactical chess match take shape. Belgium came in entirely unchanged. They were relying heavily on Kevin De Bruyne to orchestrate the midfield, essentially hoping to spring Jeremy Doku and Leandro Trossard out wide. But Senegal, they made three highly calculated strategic adjustments. They tasked their outside backs, Jacobs and Diara, with specifically shutting down those Belgian wingers. And that's absolutely crucial because cutting off Belgium's wide service completely neutralizes their offensive engine. It was a brilliant move, perfectly designed to let Sadio Mane and Sarr just feast in the attacking third and run relentlessly at Belgium.
And, early on, Senegal's strategy looked absolutely flawless. We really have to talk about the sheer urgency and dynamism they brought to the pitch. They didn't just play well, they completely bypassed Belgium's press. In those critical one-on-one battles out on the edges, Senegal was just dominating. Belgium literally had no answer on the ground. Senegal kept forcing combinations, whipping these incredibly dangerous balls into the box, and playing with a composure that left Belgium looking, frankly, entirely out of sorts.
That early pressure brings us to a really important number, 25. The 25th minute is when the dam finally breaks. Senegal had been hogging all the possession and getting all the best chances, basically flooding the attacking zone to overwhelm the defense. A cross gets whipped in early, and Sadio Mane gets this wonderful initial header on it that crashes right off the post. But Diara, he reacts instantly. He beats everyone to the rebound and just buries it. That's his 6th international goal and his 2nd of this very tournament, giving Senegal a massively deserved 1-0 lead.
The shock in the stadium was, well, it was palpable. Even the commentators up in the broadcast booth couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were saying it genuinely felt like Belgium hadn't even made it out of the locker room yet. Belgium was playing with this desperate, panic defending style. They were just too slow reacting in possession, too slow getting out to defend, and totally overwhelmed by Senegal's relentless wide attacks. The European giants honestly looked like they were still asleep in the tunnel.
Right before the half, things go from bad to a literal nightmare for Belgium. Check out this sequence. Sarr drops back to commit a run, dragging the entire Belgian backline with him. He takes down a pass under super heavy pressure. He is literally feeling the defender right on his back. But his first touch? Sublime. He takes it right into his path, and even while unbalanced and leaning away, he emphatically blasts it into the top corner. Unbelievable. That's his 4th goal of the tournament, meaning he's now scored in 3 straight games. Senegal goes into the locker room up 2-0, leaving Belgium staring into the abyss.
So the second half kicks off, and we are immediately hit with a massive, controversial mystery. We see a shocking early exit for Belgium's star orchestrator Kevin De Bruyne, along with Jeremy Doku. I mean, taking your best players off when you're down 2-0. The broadcast even compared it to South Korea's controversial decision to take out Son earlier in the tournament. It felt like an unbelievable gamble. You really had to wonder, were they just throwing in the towel, or was there actually a master plan hidden in all this chaos?
Well, the answer to that mystery: pure, unadulterated pace. Belgium brings on Mora, Romelu Lukaku, and Luka Bacchio, and the tempo of the game shifts instantaneously. In that first 45 minutes, Belgium's attackers were completely isolated. Now, they are stretching Senegal's defense to its absolute breaking point, creating these massive passing lanes right down the middle. Suddenly, it's Senegal looking slow to react, getting pushed into frantic emergency defending.
The impact of these tactical shifts was absolute dynamite. First, Belgium finally gets to a loose ball first. Lukaku uses his world-class strength to keep the play alive, shakes his defender, and from an impossibly tight angle, sneaks a gritty shot right inside the near post. They have life. And then, actually almost immediately after, the ultimate gut punch to Senegal. Belgium whips another ball in from deep. Captain Youri Tielemans, who had pushed way up into an attacking role, rises above everyone and glances a header into the net. Just like that, the momentum violently swings and we are tied up at 2.
Okay, let's all take a deep breath. We fast forward through the rest of regulation and deep into extra time. It has been an absolute war of attrition. Players on both sides are totally exhausted, barely keeping their legs under them. The tension in Seattle is so thick you could cut it with a knife. We've arrived at the 120th minute, the ultimate climax. One single moment is about to decide who advances to the round of 16 and who packs their bags.
Let's break down exactly what happens in the box, step by step. Tielemans, showing just unbelievable stamina at this point, makes a devastating late run into the central area, drawing the defender and opening up space. Kamara, desperate to break up the play, goes in for a lunging emergency challenge, but he's just a fraction of a second late. As Tielemans plants his front foot to meet the ball, Kamara's leg comes across and catches the attacker's foot. They both go down, play stops, and referee Victor Cese Martinez from Honduras is called over to the VAR monitor for a long, agonizingly hard look at a different angle.
Just imagine the complete breathless silence in that stadium as the referee clicks on his microphone. You hear the final verdict echo through the arena. Number 8 white will play the ball, and the number 8 in green kicks the foot of the attacker. For that reason, the final decision is penalty kick. The decision is final. The whole match is coming down to this.
The pressure in this moment is just unimaginable. Captain Tielemans, the very man who scored the equalizer, steps up to the spot. Standing in his way, Senegal's keeper, Maria, who incredibly has never faced a penalty while playing for the national team. There's a little bit of gamesmanship, a deep breath, and Tielemans steps into it. He strikes it so incredibly smoothly, completely sends the keeper the wrong way, and just absolutely buries it in the upper corner. Belgium completes an impossible, miraculous 3-2 comeback, rising all the way back from the dead to book their ticket to the round of 16.
Think about this number for a second. 120 plus 5. Let that sink in. That is 5 minutes into stoppage time of extra time. The World Cup is all about big-time players stepping up when their team needs them the absolute most, and Tielemans delivered the latest game-winning goal in the history of the tournament. It's a staggering statistic, and it firmly cements this game into football lore for good, while leaving Senegal fans completely stunned.
So, that leaves us with one final burning question. Belgium looked totally outmatched and outclassed in the first half. They had to rely on a massive tactical overhaul and historic heroics just to survive this one. But after clawing back from a 2-0 deficit, proving they've got the veterans, the fresh legs, and the sheer mental resilience to win ugly, does this unbelievably dramatic victory actually make Belgium the new favorite to win the entire 2026 World Cup? Think about that as you reflect on this chaotic match. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes peeled for whatever happens next in this unbelievable tournament.